Streaming live, this is KSLA News Now.
Now, I'm Ashley Graham. Here's our news for tonight. In our crime tracker, a juvenile is in custody after a shooting on Saturday afternoon in Marshall. Police were called around 3 o'clock to a house on Melanie Street for reports of gunfire. When officers got there, they found one person with a gunshot wound. That victim was taken to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A juvenile suspect was located shortly after and taken to the Willoughby Juvenile Detention Center. Because of the suspect's age, investigators are not releasing their identity. And earlier this morning, 4 more earthquakes broke out in northwest Louisiana. The strongest wave was originally a 4.0, and now it's upgraded to a 4.4. These earthquakes come after another earthquake struck near Coshada late Sunday night. The United States Geological Survey told KSLA these are aftershocks due to last week's 4.9 earthquake in this nearby area. USGS says that explains the frequency of the earthquakes, but says they are trying to figure out the earthquake's cause.
The seismicity rates, the earthquake rates in northwest Louisiana, so this area as well as around Shreveport, have increased in the past 5 years. There's different reasons why that could happen. It could be completely natural reasons. It could be kind of sort of human-caused reasons. It could be a combination of those. There will be work done in the future to try to understand that.
USGS says you should prepare to feel more earthquakes in the coming days. They say they should feel weaker as that is normal after a large earthquake hits. Now, we also know, based on new data, that this past winter is being considered one of the warmest on record in the U.S. 2 preliminary data sets show that the lower 48 states saw its second warmest winter on record. Now, this might come as a shock, depending on how cold you were this winter, and while frigid temperatures and heavy snow did hit the Midwest and eastern states, it wasn't enough to offset the overall heat. Many areas now face potential drought and wildfire risk during the summer. And UN Women Goodwill Ambassador and actress Anne Hathaway spoke at an International Women's Day event today. She delivered an impassioned speech about gender-based violence, reminding the audience of several painful and public examples of women who have suffered around the world. But Hathaway also celebrated the resilience of women who chose action instead of silence.
Friends, our choosing to celebrate today does not signal that we are here to accommodate injustice. No. Our celebration today affirms our determination to outlast it.
Singer Michelle Williams also performed her song Fearless, later telling the assembly they're all gathered to elevate, defend, and advance the rights of girls and women everywhere.
Well, rain chances continue to increase, and unfortunately, it also comes with more potential for strong storms. We'll talk about it coming up in my First Alert forecast.
Now, KSLA First Alert Weather.
Well, starting tomorrow afternoon and continuing through Wednesday, we now have first alert weather days in place as a result of the potential for strong to severe storms. Now, Tuesday, damaging winds and hail will be the more elevated threats, but the chance for a tornado will also be there. The tornado risk a little bit lower as we head into your Wednesday, with this line of storms mainly posing more of a damaging wind risk. Here's a look at the latest severe weather outlook for Tuesday. You'll notice a marginal risk extending all the way down to Shreveport, Bossier, and right in between the I-20 and I-30 corridor. That's where that slight risk picks up. is going to be low tomorrow for those in this shaded area. However, you'll notice those little black lines. Those indicate that while the chance is low, we'll have to watch out and make sure that storms don't try to produce a stronger tornado. Now, the slight risk area for both hail and winds is where we've got that more elevated threat. But again, the chance is not zero, even if you're in that marginal risk, which is a level 1. All right, let's talk timing for tomorrow. Storms tomorrow are going to be very isolated in nature. That means they impact very few and they stay very spotty. So most of us tomorrow likely to stay dry, and even fewer of us see severe weather. But again, it's little lone storms like these we'll have to pay a little extra attention to, make sure that they don't try to, again, strengthen into severe limits. There's a look at things closer to 8 to 9. Again, still dealing with a couple of isolated storms out there. And then things get quiet for much of the overnight hours until we get closer to sunrise. This is a look at things around 3 to 4 a.m. That's when you'll notice an additional wave of those spotty showers and storms arriving. But at this point, I'm not really sold that this kind of activity in front of the main line will become strong to severe. This is going to be what I'm really watching, this line right here. But the big question is, does it have enough time to re-strengthen before it enters our area? Or a best case scenario for us, it moves through as just beneficial rain, which we definitely need. Wednesday's severe weather risk, of course, already a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for those along and south of the I-30 corridor. The flooding risk, though, staying very minimal in the days to come. Tomorrow, it's a marginal risk north of I-30, and then Wednesday, it is a marginal risk, that level 1 out of 4 area-wide. Again, that's the flood risk that I just showed there. So we'll pick up another 1 to 3 inches of rain across the Arklatex between tomorrow, but really Wednesday is when we're going to pick up the bulk of that rain. We do also want to give you some good news. We have a cool down coming into the weekend, start of the new week. You'll see their temperatures in the mid-40s on Monday morning, and highs that day may be in the upper 50s and lower 60s. All right, we'll go ahead and get a check of your First Alert 7-day forecast. And again, Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday are both First Alert weather days. We're a little bit cooler for Thursday, and then right back to the upper 70s and low 80s starting Friday through the weekend before that next big cool down arrives as we head to the start of next week.
All right, well, we will stream your top stories on the KSLA News 12 app, Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. And you want to make sure that you also download the KSLA News 12 app to get the first alert to all the news we're covering here in the Arklatex. Now, here is a live look right now. This is at I-20 at Airline Drive. We will see you right back here at 10 on KSLA News 12.